Welcome. This is Through the Barbershop Window, a wrestling podcast show on Ray's Juke Joint. And I'm here as always with my guy, Eddie, who,
Hello.
who pitched it to me. And I said, let's do it. And I went out and got my boy, Nate, who is my guy, my boy from when he was a student of mine. But we always talk wrestling at the job. And then he went out and got Matt, who's his boy. And we are all here. And we are through the barbershop window. And we did a show last week, people. And well, you know what you guys say. Before I go on my rant, say what's up to the people, y'all.
Hey, what's up?
Hi-oh.
We're coming to you live from a Sunday afternoon instead of a Thursday evening.
Yeah.
You know, we wanted to make sure that we took enough time to fully be able to appreciate all of the fallout from Royal Rumble. So we wanted to make sure that we got to include the SmackDown after Royal Rumble, which is why this episode's coming to you a little bit late. Or is it? Maybe go fuck yourself.
Right. Or the fact that I was so fucking angry that WWE and all their infinite wisdom found out that we had a 10-second clip of a fucking stunner and pulled our whole episode. Like 10-second clip. You had to find, they got some fucking show sitting in a fucking basement, scouring the fucking internet, looking for small ass podcast with, you know, we got 31 subscribers and we had 30 views at the time when the video got pulled. And it was like, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But here we are, WWE. You know, hey, look at these guys. They're doing the 10-second clip of a stutter. Everybody's seen 87,000 times. Like, come on, man.
We just have to be more critical about it. We have to critique it in depth and be like, no, look, that's fair use for analysis.
Right. And then I had to do some more research. So WWE, I will be reaching out to get some little copyright, you know, stuff in the near future. So I'm just mad y'all took our whole show, you know, down and complained to YouTube. But YouTube, y'all was cool with it. And you know, and then WWE was like, no, they're not good, you know. I mean, we've all seen the clip like 1,000 times.
It's crazy because like that clip was like near the middle of our episode. So like one of those like 30 views we got was somebody
looking and there was like, oh look, there it is. I'm telling the corporate office in fucking Connecticut.
I'm going to Vince, straight to Vince.
Oh my God, dude.
In WWE, if you think, you know, copyright striking little channels is appropriate, we've got 2 words for you.
Yeah.
Lighten up.
Yeah.
Fucking dork.
Dude, I was ready to fucking tell him, dude.
That's what we call subverting expectations.
Yeah, between them and Nintendo, there's a huge kerfuffle when it comes to the whole copyright thing.
I have a friend of mine who loves playing Pokemon, and he'll post up something. They'll be like, "You can't post that." Like, how you don't I bought the game. How I can't post nothing about from Pokemon? Like, that's weird. That's weird. But anyway, let's get into it, guys. This is Through the Barbershop Window. A lot has happened. We were super excited about our Royal Rumble predictions last week, and none of them came true except for all of us expected Cody Rhodes to fucking win.
I don't know about you, but I was predicting Gunther was in the Final Four, and I was predicting he was going to be a fucking monster. And you guys got all aboard my hype train, and now you're going to throw me off as the conductor? I think not.
Oh no, man, he fucking showed up, man.
In the distance, man. They made him look like an absolute monster.
Yeah.
Also, fuck Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Like in one afternoon, I have lost all interest. I'm like, bro, like I think it was Eddie sent the tweet, and it was like exactly what I was saying during I was saying it during the Rumble. I'm like, how do you have a guy that's supposed to be a babyface that's struggling to come back and achieve his father's dream, and you have him waltzing in at number 30? It's not a surprise. You've announced he's in the Rumble. And like, dude, and it's going to be number 30. Like, meanwhile, Gunther looks like an absolute fucking monster, just crushing for like an hour and 10 minutes, then has a 20-minute match with Cody at the end. And then Cody's just like, oh, yay, I'm so surprised. Fuck off.
And it's not even
right off.
Dude, real quick, it's not even the fact that he had the little match with Cody. Look at all the big motherfuckers he was on.
Yep.
The whole fucking match.
Went toe-to-toe with Braun, went toe-to-toe with Bork Laser. He went toe-to-toe with everybody. Almost. Fuck off, almost.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah. I mean, you were almost interesting for a second.
Yeah. I just wish, real quick, before we get off this Cody train, dude.
Go ahead.
It's like, so not only that with him, like with what that tweet was that Eddie sent, what Matt was talking about, but it's like, you know, yeah, he came in at 30, and then like on Monday Night Raw, he's like, I outlasted 30 other superstars. Like, brother, you were in there for like 30 minutes, maybe. Like,
yeah, you came in for the final 5.
Yeah, like you didn't outlast shit, bro.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Matt, not Matt, Eddie, since we here, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
See, I didn't know that Matt saw what I tweeted out, so it's just like, this is great for me.
Yeah.
And if anything, like, I kept my thought bubble until Friday because I wanted to see how kind of like everything progressed and how it produced. But it's like, number one, Cody, you come in and you're just like, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for the WWE Universe. It's like, okay, first of all, dude, stop.
So corny.
Yeah.
So bad.
I didn't ask you to do shit for me, bro.
Exactly.
I asked you to fuck off.
Secondly, him coming in there and just like, I didn't even whisper Roman Reigns' name. Like, you're the big problematic child right now.
Yeah.
That he has to deal with. Get out of here. He's got 2 bigger childs on his plate that he's got to think about more.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
I know. I'm gonna try to hold myself until then.
So
but like,
go ahead.
I only got one more thing. Is the third thing is, how the hell does WWE expect me to get hyped about Cody and Roman when Sami Zayn is right there? How do you expect me to get excited about it?
I don't think we're getting Cody Roman. I mean, like, I'm sure. So I'm sure we will, but like, look at it this way. We know Sammy's got the match at Elimination Chamber.
Yes.
In Montreal.
Yes.
They don't have the best history in Montreal. So they got a hometown boy going in the main event. Sammy wins. However, Sammy goes over, wins one or both of the belts. Then we get Cody Sammy at WrestleMania, which is instantly way more interesting than Cody Roman. And that still says we can still do Rock Roman and not have Roman headlining both nights of WrestleMania.
Not gonna happen.
No, dude, I got an idea of what I think is gonna happen with all that. I don't know if we want to get on that subject right now while we're still talking about it.
We're gonna come to that a little bit later.
Okay, if we're still on Rumble, also, what was with the lack of surprises? They said that they announced Cody ahead of time because they were so confident in the level of the other surprises. So we're like, okay, cool. We're going to get The Rock. We got Booker T for like 3 minutes. Like, we knew Logan Paul was going to be there. And then the other surprise was Edge. And it's like, well, we knew Edge was coming. Booker T was the only one where it's like, oh, damn, Booker T, that's pretty cool. We got to see a Spinaroonie, and then he got chucked out by Gunther, which is how it should have been.
Yeah,
but like,
I would like to see Booker in there a little bit longer, but I know, like, he's like 60 something years old, and I know
he doesn't want to do it.
He gave us a bookend, dude. I don't remember who it was he slammed, but he hit somebody with the bookend, did the spinneroni, and then he's out. So
yep,
I thought that was good enough. But
and he even said, he's like, all these people on Twitter are complaining, oh, Booker got like jobbed out to Gunther, and he's like, I would rather me get jobbed out to Gunther in 30 seconds than Gunther get jobbed out to me. Like,
exactly.
But like, when your big surprise is fucking Booker T, like, we're all pumped for John Cena. We're thinking Great Muta. We're thinking The Rock. We're thinking all these other people. And it's like, here's Booker T for 3 minutes.
And it's not like the thing that took that away is the fact that he's on NXT. Like, it's not like we haven't seen him in a long time. He was on the fucking pre-show. It's like,
I thought we were going to get Barrett. And I was like, Barrett would be more entertaining than Booker T because Barrett's not 65 years old. Barrett can still go.
Yeah,
but whatever.
Since we're doing the whole Rumble reaction thing, I do have one thing definitely that I'm going to touch on and say is that the whole pitch black match, I took a shit literally during LA Knight's entrance because I'm like, all right, I'll get this out of the way and then I'll be able to come back in and sit down and enjoy the match. My shit lasted longer than the fucking match. Because I
Yeah, you
get
didn't miss
done, I
anything.
come in, I sit down, and then it's over in 30 seconds. It's like, excuse me? You
don't
hype this
understand.
whole fucking thing in the story, and you just, woo! There
Okay,
goes.
by now we should know that when we get a sponsored match, it's gonna be trash.
It's gonna be
Like,
garbage.
look at that Army of the Dead zombie match we got a couple years ago.
Ah.
Two, anytime Bray Wyatt's in a themed match, it's gonna be trash. I mean, the Firefly Funhouse was dope, but they're just like, what's spooky? You know what's spooky? Naomi's entrance.
Yeah.
That's what's spooky. Like,
Dude, I will say, like, Bray looked fucking sick though.
he looked cool.
No, the contacts and the teeth.
Yeah, and like the
Okay.
the ultraviolet paint or whatever it was, that shit looked dope. And even the weird mask that he put on, it all looked sweet. But yeah, the match was like, the one thing that got me was like when they went through the fucking table, when LA Knight put him through the table, it's like, what the fuck was all that like neon confetti like that came out? Like, why the fuck was that there?
Yeah.
Bro, the
Okay,
90s are back. Cosmic bowling is huge again.
Fuck
Like
dude.
I didn't know what that was. I hated that fucking match. Like, I
And
hated it.
then
And
a
then the
miss.
yeah, the top it with the fucking shitty cherry. The fucking
Oh yeah.
missed out by dude.
Yeah, the
That wasn't even missed. Like, he was off by a mile, and Bray, like, you could tell they were having a communication error, and Bray had to walk over and be like, no, just jump over me. Like, this is the spot. It was really nice of LA Knight to roll into that hole, though.
Yeah.
Help try and sell it.
LA Knight is he's gonna be, I think by this time next year we'll be talking about him in a different light.
I love him, dude.
As
I
in
love LA Knight.
retired. He's getting up there in years,
I know
man.
he's
He
getting
can
up there,
still
but I
go.
think they're
But
gonna give him a big push because of that, and the fans love him.
I think he'll be an MVP after the fact.
Yeah,
I think
I
he'll
mean,
be
they
somebody
tried-
who will
I
still
think
be a
they-
mouthpiece for a younger guy.
You know, they tried that with that Brent Swan and Smith.
Well-
man, go fuck yourself with that bullshit. That shit was, but LA Knight as a character and who he is, I think he's a bigger star that they can push going into next year into Rumble season. That's just my opinion. Maybe even SummerSlam.
I see the second topic down here, and I've got a full-fledged fucking rant for it.
You got a full for this.
So we didn't even mention what happened at the end of at the end of the Rumble, the fall. Oh wait, real quick. That women's match, trash. Not the women's Rumble, but the women's championship match.
Why did we even have that?
Trash.
Yeah.
Bro,
7 minutes.
it feels like something went long and they had to cut it. And once again, they're cutting the women's matches and just making it all seem incoherent. It was like Alexa Bliss had been dealing out so much damage, and then she takes like one move and suddenly gets pinned, and then she's like crying up at the monitor. And it's like, I mean, it's cool that we got the spoopy Uncle Howdy Bray Wyatt thing, but also like, bro, let them just have a match. Fuck.
Yeah, and I thought like it's so weird watching Alexa Bliss work, because like for me it's just like she's never been that girl for me. Like she's never been that one. Like she's like a fucking man. She's a little tiny little thing, you know, and it's just like it doesn't work when she's up against somebody like
Bianca.
Yeah, I mean Bianca is just a fucking powerhouse. Really, like the only believable like opponent for her would be Rhea Ripley. But I mean, Alexa Bliss used to be kind of dope. I mean, way like when she first kind of came to Raw, and when she's in, I can't remember if she was actually like the good version of Alexa Bliss when she was in NXT, or if she was just
she was both.
Okay,
she was the little like sparkle
cheerleader.
motion blue cheerleader girl, and then she joined up with
Buddy Murphy.
was it
them.
but Murphy and Blake, yeah,
Yeah.
and then became like evil Alexa Bliss. I remember that shit, and I'm like, oh man, the hot girl turned heel, and I'm like, oh, hot girl turned heel.
Exactly.
So what y'all thinking about this this tag team tournament that's happening on Raw and SmackDown, guys? Because I've been kind of watching, and I'm like, wait a minute, are they trying to build this? Because not for nothing, I hated the Viking Raiders when they first came up, but I mean, them some rough dudes,
Bro, in New Japan when they were War Machine, fuck, they were dope.
Yeah, they've just been typical WWE shit. You know, they just kind of
Super watered down.
Yeah, but I mean, those dudes can still, you know, they still got some pretty badass matches. This whole tournament thing, though, is like, to me, just a waste of time, because no matter what team wins, the Usos are going to beat them, because they're not even have the match. The match is next Friday.
Yeah.
So it's like they already beat Judgment Day for the Raw versions, and
They're not going to lose the titles to Braun and Ricochet.
Yeah, and this kind of goes into my predictions, like you were talking about with like Sammy winning the title and shit. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is it's going to look like Sammy's going to win, and Jay's going to come back and like super kick him or some shit, and cost him the match. Do another Montreal screw job. So then we're forced into fucking Cody versus Roman, but then KO comes out and saves Sammy, and then we get KO and Sammy versus the Usos at WrestleMania for the titles.
Wow,
that's what I think's gonna happen.
Well, you know, I you know what I do? I waste my time making banners.
I'm on the same hype.
But at the same time, I love the fact that it's an organic conversation.
Yeah, I feel like I was kind of like jumping ahead there.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's because like, but you know, usually the way this show flowed for the last however long, you know, I'll throw something out there and you guys just react to it, kind of like this.
Okay, before we get to that, can I run back to the tag team thing? Because the thing being is I'm not sure if it's because Vince is back and he got his hand in the cookie jar when it comes to this whole creative process thing. But at this point, with this whole tag team tournament, you just insulted the ever-living fuck out of my intelligence when it comes to this, okay? Because here's the thing. I broke it down, it was either last episode or the one before when it came to this whole goddamn thing, was that you had at least 2 to 3 tag teams that you could look at and go, okay, we can have a big kerfuffle and a big to-do with it storyline-wise. You have Imperium, who sits right at the very top, who I honestly thought would take it and win, because you can give them the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, and you can have them then be right there with Gunther, and it's Gunther at the very front being the ring general, and he's got 2 tag team champions right beside him, and they're wrapped and draped in gold. Storyline wise, that's great when you think and you look at it. Then you break it down and you look at Hit Row, who was on the other side when they had them go up against Drew and Sheamus. You could have made it to where you get Hit Row back together. They're having the one big very bad problem of course, Roman. Who do you bring back with to try and take care of Roman with Hit Row? You bring in Bobby Lashley and you bring that whole thing back together where they bring Hit Row truly back together. Or with actually none.
Was it Sheamus and
you mean
Sheamus and Drew?
Sheamus and Drew.
Yeah, Sheamus and Drew, where you had the Brawling Brutes, where it could have been those 4 to be able to equal out the numbers.
Right.
And what do you do instead? Nope. We're going to take it all. We're going to take every little bit of that. We're going to flush it down the big old shit toilet. And here you go. Here's Braun Strowman and Ricochet, who we all know are not going to win the fucking tag belts.
Dude, do you guys remember that movie?
Unless they do.
Do you remember the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito?
Twins?
Yeah,
Twins. That's what that is. I mean, they look the same, bro.
I would love to see Danny DeVito do flippy shit.
I would too.
It's just like
so. Okay, here's my thought on that. Like, I don't think Braun and Ricochet are going to win the titles. With the whole Jey Uso thing, though, like, I don't know. I'm actually intrigued because, like, okay, the fan in me, the mark in me is like, yeah, give Imperium the gold because, like, Gunther's a beast and he should lead a beast faction. However, if Braun, Snowman, and Ricochet win the titles, I see them as being more of transitionary champions. I see them winning only in order to tell a story with the Usos, like Jay doesn't show up and Jimmy's got to defend on his own, or, you know, they show up and like Jimmy walks out on Jay or something like that. So then there's some kind of, to use an Eddie term, kerfuffle. Yeah. And then Braun, Snowman, and Ricochet are champs, and then they get Imperium at Mania, and Imperium gets the titles at Mania. Because, like, Braun already won it with a random fucking tag team partner at Mania. He won it with a 10-year-old child. Like, we don't need him to win it with another 10-year-old child. So I'm sure we'll get Imperium with the belts, because I think the whole bloodline is going to implode, especially after Roman's promo the other night where he's like, you know, you took my family from me and stuff like that. Like, I feel like we're going to see it because this, as much as everybody wants to say it, it's not Sammy's story. This is Jay's story. It's been Jay's story from day one. Like they started calling him main event Jay Uso before Sami Zayn even joined the bloodline. So I think Sammy is kind of just like a MacGuffin to like get the Jay story over. Like we're all focused on the Sammy thing and we're all like hyped up behind Sammy, but ultimately this is going to end in Jay Uso being champ somehow. Maybe it's Intercontinental champ, but like Jay's gonna get a push out of this.
I would love to see Jay get that like main event push like that.
That whole Mania angle would not have been or not Mania. The Rumble angle would not have been nearly as strong without Jay and the performance he turned in.
Yeah,
like the look over his shoulder at Roman, like what are you doing, bro? Like what is this? This isn't what I signed up for. Like that. And without that, it's just another beating.
And you add the night before, when Jay presented the evidence for,
Monday night.
So when they did the trial,
God, that was so good.
Jay was like, "No, look at this. I put this together," so on and so forth.
Which is how I was expecting it to go. I'm just like, yes,
that was pretty fucking good. So I think we want to. There's a lot that happened since the Rumble. We're gonna come back to the Rumble. We're gonna come back to things that happened at the Rumble. We're gonna come back to SmackDown, what happened at SmackDown, so on and so forth. But I do need this one.
War Daddy.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Holy was it on Rampage? Dude, I have the hardest time watching Rampage.
It was on Dynamite. It was on Dynamite.
It was at the end of Dynamite.
You know what? I had work and I went to work like right when the TNT title match was about to happen, and I didn't go back to watch, and I just realized now I didn't watch because I saw Joe won, and I was like, oh, okay, that's
yeah. But then Warlow came right after that.
Okay,
yeah.
He's coming for two things. Number one, he's coming back for that TNT title, and he's coming for that 18 to 35 female demographic.
Yeah.
Because, he's got his head shaved short down, and it's just like Wardlow snatching panties, man. I'm telling you. I'll say it for him. Shit.
Eddie's already ringing his out.
Yeah, Wardlow came back. He looked good. They tried to do the security thing, hold him back type thing. But,
whooping some ass.
He just started whooping ass and ripping his shirt off, so on and so forth. So, I was happy to see because we like I think our very first show we asked the question, where the fuck is Wardlow?
Yeah, everybody's been asking that, and then it turns out like, oh, he's injured. Oh, he's got heat backstage. All the things you normally hear, and then next week it's like there's Wardlow.
There he is.
Yeah.
He's back. He's back.
I think it was the last episode, honestly, before it got yanked.
Oh, did we ask where the fuck Warlow is?
Mm-hmm,
might have been. I don't know. It might have been. I don't know. Who
Cool.
knows what was on that last episode?
It's
Nobody
been
knows.
So long. And if anything, you can jump back to the Hangman Mox thing too. So.
Yeah, I was about to say we could go back to that, but before we get on that, like I just want to touch on like the fact that like Darby Allin was basically just used as like Matt was saying like a transitionary champion, which kind of sucks because like I'm not super into like the Darby Allin hype train, but like that dude does some crazy fucking shit, man. And it's like his matches are always entertaining to me. So, but
he wasn't even a transition champion because the belt transitioned from Joe to Darby to Joe.
Yeah,
true.
And so then he had on
Wardlow's gonna get it.
He had on that hoodie like you got on right now, Matt, with the tax on it. That was pretty freaking.
That was dope.
Yeah, that was freaking dope.
But it was just like I enjoyed watching this like fucking weird little Seattle skate punk go to war with like just random characters for like 4 to 5 weeks in a row, and then I didn't expect
murdered by a massive Samoan.
Yes, especially dude, that fucking muscle. Did you see it, Matt?
No, I haven't seen it.
Bro, go back and watch
I saw the one on the skateboard from a few weeks ago.
Dude, they like take all the padding and shit off the ring, and he gives them a muscle buster off the top rope on the bare wood.
On the wood, right? I heard about that. I need to go back and watch that. It's hard for me to give a shit about Dynamite right now. Yeah. It sucks. Like I'm actually like really interested in WWE right now and Dynamite and Rampage. I'm just like
down here.
Do better.
I get where you come from there. Like that, the whole like Sami Zayn and everything's just kind of like absorbing your time and absorbing your focus. And if anything, they're really not building too much towards revolution.
There's no stories going on in AEW right now.
There's really
I
not.
don't give a fuck about anything other than Bryan Danielson and MJF and like a fucking.
Well, even that I don't care because it's the same story they've told 100 times. It's like they did the same thing with Jericho. They did the same thing with whoever, Wardlow or whoever.
Something else, yeah.
Yeah,
the whole let's go run a gauntlet type thing. I just want to see. I want to see fucking Bryan Danielson as a champion. That's it. That's all I want.
Yeah, just shut up and hit each other.
Yeah, like god damn. And then we
didn't get to talk about that shit with New Japan either. You want to talk about hitting each other? Yeah, we'll talk about Mox and Hangman, but like, man, we didn't get to talk about that thing with Okada and I'm sorry, I'm watching New Japan right now, so I'm just like, man, these motherfuckers are hitting each other. They're just knocking the shit out of Master Wato.
But these two were supposedly knocking the shit out of each other.
Yeah, I think it was a work. Like, but man, in the moment, like, they had the whole world buzzing.
I mean, these are these are two of my favorite dudes in AEW, man. Like, I mean, Hangman, Cowboy, we're two birds of a feather, but him and Mox just being two hard ass motherfuckers, and like even Mox like on the mic a couple weeks ago was talking about like him and Hangman kind of being like some of the more tough ass dudes there. It's like watching these guys like literally try to kill each other, kayfabe obviously, but like just beating the fuck out of each other each time they fight. I'm like, this is badass, dude.
They didn't pull no punches, that's for sure.
Yeah.
As far as like just going at each other. What do you think, Eddie?
Texas death match.
That's where it's going.
That's where it's going.
Please bring me that. If you want to throw it in and make it an exploding barbed wire match, I'm here for it.
We don't need another one of those. You remember what happened last time?
I know
it's going to be that. Oh yeah, and they have a chip on their, or in the words of Miz, they have a thing on their shoulder.
On their shoulder, yeah.
And so they really want to wipe the slate clean of that exploding barbed wire death match. They want to do another one just to right the wrong. But so that's an interesting thing, is because like while I'm not super engaged in the story of like Mox and Hangman, because it's kind of just a dick measuring contest at this point, which is fine, but like the whole thing is revolving around they want to prove who the better man is, and Mox has already won 2 of the 3. So like in wrestling rules, Mox wins, but they don't want it to be something weak like a roll up, which is how Mox won the last one. So they're going to be like, no. Like, we're going to settle this like men, like none of this, like little bullshit roll up, like no knockouts. Like this is either a last man standing or this is a Texas death match. And we're going to get one of those two where it's like a definitive, like you were not getting up. I beat you into the ground, which like Hangman already got the concussion. Mox already won. Like, come on.
I was at that show, and it still sucked. But like, first of all, if you're gonna do the exploding barbed wire death match thing, please, for the love of God, do not hire Acme in California to produce that shit again. Because for the love of fuck,
fucking Roadrunner and fucking.
That's what it was.
So bad.
It was like, so bad.
You hired just these things, and it's like the whole promo with 69 me, Don.
Yeah.
Bravo to Eddie Kingston. Bravo to Eddie Kingston for selling that shit, though.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I was so afraid for my friend's safety, I blacked out. It's like, good sell.
What do y'all think about Eddie Kingston? You brought him up, him going to House of Black.
Is he in House of Black? Did that happen?
No, it's not. It has not happened. They mentioned it. They mentioned it on Rampage the week before, and then on Dynamite, there was a little small clip of him talking, and then they showed him in all black with a mask on, saying he's ready to come home.
I'm not into it.
You're not into it?
No.
I want him in there because there's like this angry demon inside of him. And it's like, if you're going to let him be with that big faction, let them be the ones to pull it out of him and just let him go.
Really?
Yeah, but that's a spooky boy faction, man. Like Eddie Kingston is not a spooky boy. Like
he's
if anything,
big trash talker.
If anything, Eddie needs to start his own faction that's just like Violence Unlimited, like in Ring of Honor, which Brody King was part of. Just get a handful of dudes that are just like, I'm violent because I like to be violent.
Right.
Like House of Black, it has that whole satanic thing to go with it. And that's not Eddie Kingston. I mean, Julia Hart, like I bought that because it's like you went from the sweet, innocent girl to absolute corruption. Cool. I'm into that. I'd buy that. That's like a theme in horror a lot with like nuns getting possessed and whatnot. Also, one of my main fetishes. But Eddie Kingston, he's not a spooky boy. He's a violent man. He's a no nonsense. I will beat your ass in a back alley. And that's not House of Black.
Now, here's the thing, though. What if they're setting it up to where he goes in and he extracts Brody King and does that violence unlimited?
That's some long-term writing that they don't never do.
And plus, we saw that with the Wyatts. We saw Daniel Bryan, sneak into the Wyatts and then turn his back almost immediately.
I'm surprised
just let him be.
Kurt Angle do it.
Let him be spooky boys. Just keep him with the spooky boys. Let Eddie be violent. Let Eddie join Blackpool Combat Club, even though he hates a bunch of those dudes, because that's where he would fit. If it's like fighting for the sake of fighting, like Blackpool Combat Club.
Yep.
Also, are they breaking up? Because what? There's no William Regal. They don't seem to hang out together anymore. Wheeler Yuta's kind of like the one thread that holds them together.
Yeah,
they run out for each other every other week. And they'll be like, oh no, still won't fight, whatever. Real quick, back on Mox Hangman. What do y'all think about this one?
Oh yeah, somebody's losing their job.
It was terrible.
It's like he blades every week. We all know it.
You know he blades, but don't put it on the camera. Like, don't.
They should have put like some kind of like slide whistle or like something like very like comical. It's like, here's Mox blading. Da, 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 da. Woo!
It's like
I didn't even see that. I must
you
have
didn't
missed
see
that.
it,
bro.
Oh
They put the
God.
camera right on him, and he like does this, and he goes, like he just sits there sawing at his eyebrow.
Like there's this, the cameraman is like literally like in his eye like this, like.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at that.
You didn't see it,
bro.
Oh they've been go back and if you can go back and watch Dynamite.
It's been memed all over the internet. It's
crazy.
before the match. It's before the match even starts.
Yeah, because we're like the match the bell didn't ring for like 15 fucking minutes.
Oh yeah,
we just
like brawling on the outside.
They were just brawling, like in the crowd. There was a beer thrown in somebody's face.
Yeah.
A Hangman's face.
Hangman throwing it.
Yeah. Oh,
he threw it on.
Yeah, he threw it on.
That's what I
Mox,
miss
like,
about AEW. Because remember, like when they first started, they would have like those death matches. They had that Kenny Omega, John Moxley, like lights out, Street Fighter,
that's
whatever.
The very first time I watched AEW was that.
Bro, and that's legit. That was what I loved about AEW at the beginning. It was like no matter what kind of wrestling fan you are, they had something. If you like comedic wrestling, there's comedic wrestling. If you like skilled. Yeah, if you like flippy shit, there's flippy shit. If you like skilled mat tacticians, there's mat tacticians. Like if you like cerebral shit, there's that. Death matches, there's that. There's something for everybody. And now it's kind of just WCW.
Oh my God.
It has been kind of going in that direction. And on one end, I'm like, all right for a few things. But I mean, like, honestly, when you look at how everything's been kind of going lately, as far as their ratings and everything goes, like since MJF has won the title, they've not peaked or hit 1 million since the J tribute show that they did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you gotta have a fighting champion to be front, stage, and center to draw in the people.
Or at least be something like where you're not fighting, but you're out in the ring every fucking week. Just
well, he shows up and he cuts promos, but I think the problem is. The problem is that everything feels like segments now.
Right.
It feels like it lacks a it's not a universe. It's like skits now where it's like, okay, let's put in the MJF bit here. And then we have to have the Jade Cargill bit. Let's put that here. And it's like every week, it's like the same show, just repositioned. And I feel like they need to have it feel like that universe where like they have more faction warfare where like people from factions are interacting with different people. So whereas like Kenny may be feuding with Matt Hardy or whoever, but then he can have like a match with all the other people in that group. And like the Young Bucks can have a match with like Matt and Isaiah or Ethan Page and Isaiah or something, but like having these stories revolving around each other versus like, oh, this is what you're doing. you wrestler, you're wrestling with person A, and that's your program for the next 2 months. Like,
There's two things that I hate about AEW, and I don't know if you guys notice it. They do this thing where they'll do an introduction and then go to the back and somebody's doing a promo, and then they'll come back and do the second introduction for the match. Like, what is that?
Yep.
Who does that? Like, I'm getting introduced, I'm in the ring, then all of a sudden they go to the back, and then I'm talking to Kenny Omega with fucking, what is this?
Dude, I've been seeing that so much, like especially AEW, but fucking WWE just did it on SmackDown.
They did?
The Brawling Brutes came out, then they cut to their thing with Kofi, which, that's cool, but it's like still like, why are you guys putting these, like, both companies, any company, why would you put a segment in the middle of entrances? Like, it makes no sense.
I don't get that.
They're having a big fuck up at this, like, at least to an extent for things, because like right now you can kind of see the laying bricks, so to speak, for the ladies, where it's going to be the homegrown talent versus the outsiders, and I'm hoping that builds to kind of like a War Games type thing for the ladies, where they do 5-on-5, that double
Blood and
cage
guts.
part. Love that. Yes, thank you. Blood and guts. That I want that to be able to see it for the ladies, because like I love their street fights that they do. They get out there and they bust ass and bust themselves open too, and like it's great to watch. But like, granted, my 2 hours normally that night on Wednesdays just flies by, because it's like, well, damn, this is just constant action, no stop, really. But like, where's the really big storylines that I want to be able to kind of like sink myself into? Because like,
I got one for you.
Go ahead. Oh, okay.
Why won't Matt Hardy stop wrestling?
Like, dude, stop. You can't even bend your right leg ever.
His wife won't let him.
Is that what it is?
It's the meal ticket right there, dude.
Man, so it's funny that you mentioned that, because a couple years ago there was 2 wrestling documentaries that came out, and they're both very different in tone. One of them was You Can't Kill David Arquette.
Okay.
And another one was I think it was called To Hell and Back, the Vampiro story. So like, David Arquette talked about wrestling, about how like it's been his dream and it's something he always wants to do, and like he's gonna fight for it forever, and like he'll never give up his dream. Vampiro, on the other hand, was like, I hate this. I want to stop. I don't want to do this anymore. He talked about it like a drug addict, where it's like, as soon as somebody offers me some, I think I'm out, and then somebody offers it to me, and I'm like, fuck, I can't help it. I need to do this. And I think that's a thing with Matt Hardy. Like, he could easily be a coach, he could be a producer, he could be a writer, any number of things. But I think it's just so deep in his essence that he has to do it.
Ric Flair type shit.
And I think he's trying to hold out until hopefully Jeff can come back, so they can maybe get the one more title run.
Yeah.
They can go out together, because like, especially after what just happened to Jay Briscoe, it's like you spend your entire career with your brother. If your career is going to end, you want to go out with your brother.
Yep.
And I don't mean in like the Pornhub stepbrother kind of way.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's one of those things where I think that's what it kind of is. They're maybe trying to long-term storytell it, where Jeff will finally come in and like save Matt from the whole ego faction and all that shit. But like, between him and also like Jericho with Sammy and Ricky
Garcia.
Starks.
And
Ricky Starks. Like, that's one of those kind of like stories right now where it's like, okay, you're here, but I also noticed that Jericho kind of has to be the center of sort of things, and you just kind of lose the other 2 guys because you get sucked into their world. So
that's the second gauntlet thing that's happened.
I was just gonna say that. It's like so they're trying to do what I'm saying, where you need to have the overarching stories, but they keep making it like it's a gauntlet challenge to prove that you're worthy. Just beat his ass in the back. Like, don't play his stupid ass games. Just like, if you want this guy, because wrestling boils down to, you said or did something I don't like, I'm better than you and I know it, or you have something that I want. In any of those 3 cases, fuck him up backstage. Don't play the game and do it the honorable way. Just run him over with your car, say you did it for The Rock, and go home.
Yep.
But Nate, like, I mean, they're running the same exact storyline with two different people.
Dude, I know it's ridiculous. To kind of touch on what Eddie was talking about with Jericho and with Matt Hardy, though, it's like, first off with Jericho, like none of the dudes in JAS, I don't give a fuck about any of them, honestly.
You don't like this guy? Huh? You don't like him?
Fucking Daddy Magic or whatever.
Bro,
Daddy Magic Magic.
Daddy Magic is money, bro.
I was gonna say, I do like that guy a little bit.
I do like that guy. That's
But
why I
like Daniel Garcia is like the fucking most boring dude I've ever seen. Like
He
He's
can't
so
talk.
good in the ring, though.
He can
his
wrestle.
look is boring.
He can
His look is
wrestle, but
boring.
he
He
can't
can't talk. He talks like, dude, like I could go to like a fucking like hookah shop and just find him and just like
He's Ricochet. He's
yeah,
Ricochet. He's good in the
talent,
ring.
can't talk.
Yeah, horrible mouthpiece.
He
But-
should have gotten his own spot. I'm sorry to interrupt, but he should have been able to take off when you're a wrestler and it's like, yes, break away from the JAS and go do your thing.
Yeah, when they had that kind of
He
like
can't
little
talk.
feud going on. But basically what I was starting to say is that like same thing with Matt Hardy. Like I think like Jericho could still wrestle pretty well. You know, he's really not as beat up as Matt Hardy, but it's that star factor because it's like, you know, Jericho at the center of it, he's like radiating and making these other guys glow. And then fucking Matt Hardy, he still has that star power to him, but it's not as much as Jericho. But
He's
it's
almost
still
a
like
jobber now.
he is. But I mean, like he's like, you know, obviously they're building something between, like something's going to happen between him and Ethan Page. So it's like they're using his star power to kind of boost this, and maybe they'll even get like because what's the other guy's name, Isaiah or something?
Yeah.
Maybe because like, you know, he's kind of been weird about being in that situation too. So maybe it'll be like Isaiah and Matt Hardy turn on Ethan or something like that. But
I feel
basically,
like one of the private party guys is injured, right? The other guy.
Yeah.
I was wondering where he was at. But it's just like, it's just basically to me, like they're just like enhancement talent in almost a different way. Like Matt Hardy is straight up like enhancement talent, like jobber status. But
Yeah.
Jericho is like the other end of it where it's like, hey, I'm this huge fucking wrestling star and I'm making or doing my best to make other people around me look better.
Which is a shame with Matt Hardy because when they brought him in, it was during the pandemic. So you thought like, oh man, we're gonna get the broken Matt Hardy universe. Like we're gonna get all of this cool cinematic stuff, and then they did none of it. Like they like hinted at it, and they had like Vanguard 1 show up, and they did a little bit of the teleportation stuff, but like ultimately they did the same thing WWE did, and they're like, hey, you had this really great bit in Impact. We want you to do that, but don't do that.
Just say the
then-
catchphrase.
Yeah, like, but not even the catchphrase. Like, say a bastardized version of the catchphrase so Impact can't sue us.
Yeah.
I'm reading it here right now through Wrestling Inc. Mark Quinn is recovering from an injury. He responded to Matt Hardy on Twitter stating, "I'll be back faster than a barefoot jackrabbit on a hot, greasy griddle in the middle of August."
That's a lot of that's a lot of things.
It's a lot of descriptors right there.
Yeah, he could have
Well,
just said quicker than a jackrabbit on a hot date. I don't know why he's barefoot and on a greasy skillet.
I
and,
don't know. That's his official quote. That's all.
like,
I'm
would
putting
you
up there.
shave your feet if you were a rabbit and barefoot?
Oh my god.
I mean, I'm barefoot right now because the socks off.
Fuck
I'm
yeah,
just going
dude.
too hot.
Eddie, we just got demonetized because you showed your feet.
Yeah.
Well,
Real quick.
Now some Mark is just pleasuring himself
Speaking
to your
Speaking
feet.
of Mats, is our very own Matt still hating on 50?
Yes, bro. She's fucking sorry. She
Matthew.
sucks. She
No.
sucks, bro. She's a personality vacuum. That's what she is. You know what? Her and
Oh my
Natalia,
God.
her and Natty are right here, bro. Like
Dude, no way.
Natty's at least competent in the ring. She's fucking boring and annoying, but at least she can wrestle. Jade Cargill can't wrestle. She's a horrible mouthpiece. Twitter, she's a wonderful human being. She seems like a very sweet woman, but like, get this girl some promo classes, get her training with somebody that knows how to wrestle. You got what's her name? That Madison Rain. Like,
Yeah.
she's a legend. Get her to teach fucking Jade Cargill how to do a pump kick.
Amy
like-
Sakura.
Yeah, get Emi Sakura, get fucking anybody, get Sheeta, get Britt. I mean, well, maybe not Britt, but like Britt can teach her. Britt can teach her how to talk. Like,
Here's the
come
thing,
on.
though. because like she's got 50 wins over her entire career. She is a draw. People, they tune in, they want to see her, and all that. Here's the thing. I'm not an analytics person. I just go by what I can see. So, if she's getting the pop, she's getting, the draw, the money, all that good jazz. Good, good work, good on her. But like, if you put her up against an actual legit challenger, like Britt Baker,
like
or
Hikaru
Shida, or
who also lost to her,
Jamie, put like Jamie Hayter in there, or just someone like. Realistically, I still think they're still waiting for Chris Statlander to come back and just be the one to be the one that just finally dethrones her. But like, we're still probably about 5 or 6 months maybe on that because of the knees.
She'll be damn near 100-0 by then. Because that's what Nate wants.
But you know what? If they're waiting on Chris Statlander, you know what that says to me? That they lack depth in their women's roster and they have no plans for their women's division aside from this one thing. Soraya, I'm fucking done already. Get out of here.
With her already?
Go hang out with your toxic fucking boyfriend. She's like the CM Punk of the women's division.
Yeah, she fucking sucks ass, dude. She sucked ass in in WWE. She sucks ass now. She's not entertaining. Real quick before we get on Soraya, because I could fucking roast her all day. I don't understand why you don't think Jade Cargill's not like the best wrestler, but like I don't think she's that bad.
Because okay, look, if she was in a position of Sky Blue or Red Velvet or pretty much anybody else on the women's division where she gets wins, she gets losses, like she could be a contender for a title, cool. I'm fine with that. But like I don't think she's good enough to be painted as a beast. She wasn't an indie darling who was just like, making tons of merch sales and just like bringing
a fitness girl.
She's just like, that's the thing. And that to me, that's WWE shit where you get somebody that's famous somewhere else, you bring them in, shoehorn them into being a wrestler because they're impressive physically, and you overlook all of their shortcomings. Like there is no way Jade Cargill should be 50-0. Period. I don't even think she should be champion right now. If she's had 50 matches, I feel like maybe being generous because she is very impressive physically, 35-15, like 40-10 even, but 50-0, there's no fucking way. Kenny Omega's not even undefeated. Kenny Omega has multiple 6-7 star matches. Jade Cargill, I'd be surprised if she had a 4.5 star match.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can find her highest rated match.
You see how far she's come, though. At least I do, because like when she first started,
I
remember when she first started, I was like, "Damn, this is terrible."
Okay, right, but for somebody that's 50-0, we shouldn't be talking about how much she's improved. She should have already been at that level when she got on this run. Okay. You don't start as a jobber and go 50-0.
So why do you think they gave her the big push?
Because she's buff, yeah, like. Because one, she's a muscle mommy. 2, she's a person of color and it's somebody they can strap a rocket to. And 3, she came in and she got the Shaq treatment. She hadn't even had a match. And for months, she was having vignettes with Cody and I can't remember her name, Cody's wife, and with Brandy and with Shaq. She got the star treatment from day one and there was vignettes of Jade is coming. Like, we're like, oh, who's this person? It's like, oh, no, literally, who is this person?
Right.
Like, and here's another thing too. Like, I don't know if you guys watched it, but I know I did. It was Roads to the Top, which was Cody's show. And
the reality show?
Mm-hmm.
I never.
I was watching that.
And Red Velvet and Jade had actual IRL beef that had been squashed because Jade slapped her too hard.
Oh. Well, I mean, Red Velvet.
All right. Y'all, Eddie, you're talking about analytics and statistics. You want to hear some Jade Cargill statistics? So her lowest rated match, according to Dave Meltzer, is a dud. So she didn't even get the half star. She got dud ratings. Her highest rated match, 3.25 stars, Casino Battle Royale. So she hasn't even gotten over 3.5 stars in a singles match. Oh, wow. And you're telling me she's deserving of a 50-0 run? No. Start thinking with this head and realize she doesn't deserve it.
Okay,
dude,
so let's talk about this.
Because if I'm thinking with this one, I agree. She's great.
She's
yeah,
great
I
in that
mean-
way too. Yes.
So since we're talking about people who are great in the ring and are women,
Yes.
Is Rhea coming for the throne? Oh yeah.
100%.
Like,
Why is
I
that?
find it weird she's challenging Charlotte though. I mean, like storyline wise, I get it. She wants to right the wrong. She wants to get her win back. But like, are they really gonna take the belt off of Charlotte? Like, they love Charlotte.
Yeah, but
Dude.
Charlotte's at 16.
Oh, is she?
She's at
No, she's at.
16.
I thought she's 14 right now.
14.
Oh yeah, 14. Well, she's at 14, but I mean,
Oh.
I think they're gonna keep taking it
Oh,
away.
she's
They're gonna keep taking it away for her to get to 16, and then it's gonna be a big thing where she wins 17 to go over her dad. I think
she's gonna be the one to beat her dad, and then
Gonna be
Ric
the
Flair can cry,
Yeah.
and Charlotte can
That's
cry.
what's happening. That's what's happening. In my opinion, I think that's we're gonna see that she's gonna lose it again, then win it again, then lose it again, and win it again, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden lose it one more time and go 17 championship.
Meanwhile, John and Randy are sitting there like,
God, what the
what,
fuck?
what about me? What about me? I've been at 16 for like 10 years, guys. Come on. I just need one more.
And the
But I
thing
mean-
is,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead, Ray.
No,
No,
I
you
was
go
going to ask
first.
you guys in space. Like Rhea, since we were talking about we this was the reason why I was thinking about the Rumble the way I was. We had a fucking shitty fucking 30 entrants from Cody Rhodes to win it, but then we get the antithesis of that is Rhea coming in number 1 and going
Yeah.
through 30 women and winning the fucking Rumble.
That was-
I go ahead, Nate.
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you a little bit.
No, I just want that's where I'm going with it. So go ahead.
Dude, like I feel like the women's wrestling is like most of the time like overshines some of the men's wrestling nowadays, and that women's rumble I thought was fucking awesome. Even seeing Nia Jax come back was entertaining, you know.
Loved it.
Yeah. Rhea's outfit was the real wild card in that match.
Any
Bro,
more?
every single time she was on
Keep moving
screen,
now.
she's like, she's having to fix something. I'm like, bro, that thing is coming off.
But
It-
yeah, I mean, watching her just be the powerhouse, the Gunther of the women's Royal Rumble, and then actually winning it and being like she's the first woman. Obviously, she's the first woman to do that. And
She wasn't just sitting in the corner hiding either. She was fucking in there.
She's
Yeah,
sitting in the
and-
corner fixing her top.
Mhm.
And
Her-
she's one of 4 people who've done that in the entire history of WWE, coming from one and actually won the whole match. So I'm a big fan of Rhea Ripley. Just badass character, badass wrestler. So yeah, I love to see that.
So let me ask you this. Rhea
Okay.
Ripley versus Jade Cargill.
Oh, that's
Who
easy.
wins?
It's Rhea. It's Rhea.
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 Okay, and what's Rhea's record? Not 50-0. You know why? Depth, storytelling, believability. Fuck, it's not that hard.
Here's the thing, too. When it came to the whole Women's Royal Rumble, you had Rhea at 1 and Liv Morgan at 2. And Liv Morgan being able to be in there alongside Rhea Ripley to
who'da
take it
thought?
and go. Nobody
52
would.
minutes for her. I just did not see that happening.
Nope.
Exactly.
I
But
just
it's just
did.
like it went. And if anything, like they cut short Liv's run to give it back to fucking Ronda Rousey, which that's another reason why they brought back Charlotte Flair to just go here, get the belt off this fucking trash can, and then we'll just do whatever. Because I mean, like, even if Rhea doesn't really take off with the fans, that's just gonna be the thing. that they'll
How
do.
is Rhea? She's already white hot right now.
Yeah, she's
She
everybody's
is.
mommy.
Yeah.
She is pretty much
She's the
so.
mother of all.
Yeah.
Dude.
But if it doesn't go any further and like she becomes like this, like, I don't know, downtrot when she finally gets the belt, because people are like, all right, well, I'm bored now of this whole situation, this whole thing. Can we they'll just throw Charlotte Flair back in there and just go, all right, Charlotte, go get the belt again. We'll do a 5-minute jobber match for you.
I
Yeah.
just with
Go ahead.
Rhea going for the women's for Charlotte's title, I just wonder what's going to happen with Judgment Day. Are they going to maybe do away with the brand split a little bit because they've been kind of playing with that a little bit, or are they just going to take her out of the Judgment Day, or I wonder what's gonna
No,
happen.
she'll bounce. Like she'll bounce back and forth. I think because the brand split doesn't really mean shit right now.
Yeah.
And with them like looking to sell, I imagine it's going to mean even less. Because I mean, like the Roman story is so hot, like they show up on both shows. Like LA Knight shows up on both shows. Like people just pop up everywhere. That mommy bit though, man, I'm loving that. They did that stupid NASCAR crossover, on SmackDown with Ray and Dominic. And just hearing Dominic say, if mommy was here, things would have been different. And I was sitting there dying, bro. Like once they gave them more freedom and stuff, like it's been so much more entertaining. Hear Michael Cole just talk shit about Top Dollar like week in and week out. I'm like, man, you savage. He's savage.
Don't have Vince McMahon yelling in your ear after 20 years.
And then you got the with Rhea. I just want y'all to know I called that she would challenge Charlotte. So I think that was probably because nobody really wants to see Rhea versus
Bianca
again. They run into the ground.
And we like Bianca. I mean, I don't think most people want Bianca to lose her title. I think with Charlotte, we're like, we don't really care because she's a much better heel than a face too.
Right. Yeah. We've seen that story enough, but we haven't seen Rhea versus her on a real rivalry type thing. So I think they're going to build this, especially with this elimination.
Well, and it's flipped too. Their last match, Rhea was the face. She was the NXT Women's Champion, and Charlotte was the heel. So now they get to work opposite of that.
Yeah, and I like that. Here's another one that I am enjoying right now. Did y'all hear what
Becky versus Bayley?
Did you hear what Bayley said?
Savage,
Did you hear, Nate?
I did, man. I did. That was. I didn't expect them to go there. That was pretty fucking funny.
Bayley took me by surprise when she said that.
When she said, your husband's only with you because he only married you because he knocked you up. And I was like, damn. Yeah. I mean, it's true, but damn.
I don't know. I mean, I'd still be with Becky even if I didn't knock her up. So it's just like, that's me though.
She was so like on the microphone. There's very few on the women's division better than Bayley. Even with her lisp, she fucking kills on the mic.
Does she have a lisp? I don't even know.
Yes, she has a lisp.
I remember she called Dakota Sky, who is was a porn star who died. I was like, just threw out Dakota Sky. That's awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, she's on the microphone. I just think she's fucking awesome.
Oh, she's money. And Uber Karen Bayley, love it. It's almost up there with Sad Tom.
Yeah, but what's going to happen? Y'all think this is going to be done at the Chamber, or are they going to keep the story going to Rumble? I mean, to WrestleMania.
They'll keep it till Mania.
I think so.
Because
I'm not really feeling this feud though. It's just like both women are good, but they keep doing the whole like. And I know it's because she's a heel, but they're doing like the whole damage control intervenes shit, blah blah blah.
Yeah, but it'll lead. We're building something bigger, I think, in terms of it being so personal because they came up together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and they were supposed to have that cage match, which was going to take care of damage control, and that lasted 8 seconds and was a giant joke. And now they're going to have. Are they doing an elimination chamber match or is it a one-on-one match?
It's a cage match on Monday.
On Monday.
Oh, it's on Monday. Okay. Yeah. So there'll be more fuckery and it'll lead to a match at Mania, which will probably lead to Becky bringing up somebody from NXT to like watch her back. We definitely need more women's factions in WWE. Like we have Damage Control and that's it. They'll randomly throw 2 women together and be like, okay, you're a tag team now. We'll give you the belt for 6 weeks.
Fucking Candice LeRae and Michin.
Who?
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly.
Nikki ASH.
I like
Michin.
I like
Rhea.
Michin.
And Rhea and Liv, Shotzi and whoever, like they throw the women together. And Shotzi's dope. She used to sell pictures of her poop when she was an indie wrestler. $5 a pop, 100%. And there's nudes of her out there. Her areolas are shaped like hearts.
Well, if anything,
hey, you want to talk about independent wrestling, man? This is what happens on the indies.
No,
people sell pictures of their poop.
If anything, like the whole thing with, I'm gonna go with Mandy Rose. Like the whole leaks thing that happened, you can't even really see shit. Her nipples are underneath the water. Like,
Oh no,
come
you
on.
could see her. You could see her nipples.
It's just underneath the
I
water.
looked.
Oh,
I looked.
no.
No, there's the
I
one.
agree with you there.
She's got ones with her hair down, and it's like right between the strands. There's definite nudity, and like WWE now apparently has a problem with that.
Even though back in the day we had full fucking spreads.
Yeah, they literally had a live
Playboys.
sex show
I mean,
on
we had
Raw.
like at least 4 or 5 divas do full fucking spreads. Like
You had also
Remember
Shawn
that?
Michaels do Playgirl. I mean, come on.
I don't care about that, but
I'm just saying.
but you did have it, yes.
Man, one of these days we're gonna have to talk about which wrestler has the best intro song because it's either Tony Deppen or Tetsuya Naito, and there's no argument. Like Naito's song is a fucking bad. Sorry, it's on right now, and I'm
It's
just
all
like,
because
fuck
you're
you.
playing right now. Yeah. Even
Yeah.
though what's his name live version with the violinist when he had him.
Oh, Shinsuke.
Oh,
Shinsuke's song has been a banger. Like,
Yeah,
the
but I
whole
mean,
time.
when he came back to New Japan with the dude playing the violin, that's
Yep.
God damn.
Hell yeah.
But how about this?
Is Roman better without a mic than with one?
When he's fucking yelling at his opponent in the corner or in the ring or whatever, is he better, or does he need the microphone?
I feel like it's better. I like because it's like kind of more like personalized.
They do it. They do it a lot more in the last probably 6 months.
Yeah, I think he's. I'd say he's equal, but to like personally, I like it better because I mean, like, you know, he beats the shit out of some dude and he's like shit talking to him. It brings me back to some Stone Cold shit.
I love that.
I think you need them both together because I think him not talking for so long and only having Paul Heyman talk was kind of a sign of like, yeah, I'm too important to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, granted, we all know that he's not the best on the mic, but at that point, it felt like, yeah, I'm too important. I have a mouthpiece. This is my spokesman. And the more he talks, the more it seems like he's kind of losing his grasp on things. Whereas now it's like, now I have to personally deal with this. And the more he flies off the handle and yells, it shows like he's just kind of losing control of everything. And I think that's good. He's using Paul Heyman less, which is showing more of a disillusion between the two of them. I would be surprised if there was any form of the bloodline beyond SummerSlam.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna try to disillusion and like get rid of it probably by Mania, because once Mania kicks and happens, that's when all the new storylines will start.
Mm-hmm.
Is he better without a mic than with one? We've said it here before. He learned to talk when he didn't need to anymore because of Paul Heyman. And it's just like, I love the ideal that he right there and just goes, you know, yelling at his opponent and it's just like, this is mine, this is my family. You broke it up. And it's just like, you want that to kind of resonate here throughout the crowd.
I think I got a theory about him getting better on the mic though. Remember during the COVID times, he was out there an awful lot by himself, just talking. I think he got better without the crowd fucking with him and just having the people on the fucking screens, and then he was able to do his shtick and remember his lines and all this other stuff. And I think that he gained confidence in the COVID where, you know, the COVID times. You know what I mean?
This past Friday, though, I mean, crowd, shut the fuck up, Roman's talking. Quit with your stupid ass what chance.
Yeah. But at the same time, I like I said, when they took the mic and he was yelling at Sammy in the corner, like I felt that. I'm like, holy shit, like he's fucking giving me everything I need from Roman to be Roman. You know, even with the microphone, not in the ring, when he's in the back, sitting there conducting business as the head of the table with Paul right here behind him, and he's talking to Solo and fucking Jimmy. That was fucking good.
Yeah,
that was good.
I think Solo's the next to turn.
Yeah.
So my buddy Rick brought up a good point that I completely forgot. When Solo debuted, Roman had said he was sent by the tribal elders to ensure something. I don't remember what he was there to ensure, but it's like he was sent by the tribal elders. Like, and then like I didn't realize, but I guess he's Jimmy and Jay's brother.
He's their baby brother.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I had no idea.
So like, if Rikishi ran over Stone Cold for The Rock, and like you know, they had this bit on SmackDown the other day where you know, Solo's not saying shit and he's just got his normal stoic look, but he looks very contemplative. And Roman goes, "What about you? You heard from your brother?" And he doesn't say or do anything. He doesn't even look at him. And then Jimmy's like, "Yo, look, if I ain't heard from him, he ain't heard from him," you know. And I'm like, damn, what if like the tribal elders sent Solo to keep an eye on Roman versus anything else? And like Solo's going to be the one like on orders from The Rock or something, like just like Rikishi did it for The Rock. Solo is like, you know, oh, The Rock sent me to keep an eye on you because you were running your mouth and like questioning the family and this and that.
Oh, wow, that would.
And then right,
would,
which could then set up The Rock, Rock Roman, because like we are getting Rock Roman, right?
No.
Like, what do you mean no?
No,
I-
I'm getting Rock Roman.
You what?
Okay.
Has it
Here's
been
the thing.
announced? Like it's not
It's
happening
been
officially?
announced. Like Hunter talked about it like after the fact, but like Rock isn't
He ain't in ring shape.
he's not in ring shape. So that's one element to this. The second element to this is that as far as bloodline blood goes, Rock has zero, none, nil, nada. There is no Alpha or Sika blood coursing through his veins. His mom was adopted by Peter Maivia and Rocky Johnson. Them two having sex. Boom, there's The Rock. But he has
Peter Maivia and Rocky Johnson had sex?
Holy shit.
His mom, Rock's mom, you know what I'm going with. Peter is just a quote-unquote blood brother from that little thing. But that's not anything at all. So,
yeah, but that's not what WWE would have you believe. Like they came out of the same person. If WWE would have you believe.
They want that, yeah. It's just like with Elias and whoever the other thing he was doing with.
What do you mean? That's his real brother.
I can't believe
there's four of them.
So I thought for sure that we was going to see, since they brought her back during the Rumble, that Nia Jax was going to be coming to the bloodline to be with her family.
Dude,
I thought so too. I thought Naomi was coming too.
I was like,
especially with Nia Jax, like if you go back and look, dude, she's wearing the bloodline colors. She's got
right, and that's what got me.
Like
I was like, holy shit, she's gonna be on whenever they bring it out, she's gonna be there and she's gonna be one of the mouthpieces telling the family like, yo, we can't do this.
And that would be smart because then you get Naomi and Nia in there, and now you have this whole thing that can encompass all of WWE. You can have stories in the women's division that revolve around the bloodline.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about with that whole like
and then
faction
Naomi
warfare.
Being on the outs, this will be her back in. Like, come on, you got it. It's right there.
Like Bray Wyatt already used her intro, so like we know they've already got it geared up.
Yeah.
Now the big thing is, I think also with Vince coming back and being the top person, SEO and whatever, it's really fucked with Hunter's ability to do the whole booking thing because he knows that's at the top and he'll try to do everything he can to rip that creative part away from him.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. Like, I feel like seeing some of the stuff we've seen lately, Hunter's very much in control. Like, if Vince was in control, I don't think we would have seen Gunther go 2-30.
No,
I don't think like we would see Ricochet getting any kind of push. I don't think we'd be seeing Brown Snowman getting any kind of push. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's happening that's questionable that, you know, Vince is in control. We're still seeing Dexter Lumis on TV. Shotzi's still there. Like, all the people that Triple H brought back. Piper Niven got her name back. Like,
that was cool.
Come on now. Like that right there. That's one of the biggest pops I had of the whole Rumble was Piper Niven getting her name back. I'm like, fuck yeah, she is too good to be Dewdrop.
Yeah, too good.
100% agree.
Yeah, for sure. Real quick, couple more topics I want to hit on with you guys. So since we were here, where the fuck is Jay? Then y'all kind of touched on it before, but like, let's give me your predictions one more time with Jay Uso. Eddie, you said you thought he was going to do what?
I think when it comes to like Jay, it's gonna have a thing between him and Jimmy, where it's like, you got salt on me, Uso. What's going on here? You left. doing this whole I'm out thing, and now we have this responsibility to be here not only for us but for Roman and the whole Bloodline faction. And it's just like, dude, I couldn't take that. I couldn't handle it. I did not like Sammy when he first came in, and y'all made me sit here and wait, and then I fell in love with him because of all the bullets that he shot or took for us. And now I have to be the one to sit there and watch y'all just dog fucking stomp his ass. Nah, man, that ain't on me. Especially when I'm the one who put my arm on the line for him. Now, is there a very good chance that the heat comes because he comes out there, he does the screw job against Sammy? Good chance for that.
Wouldn't be surprised to see that happen. I like that. Matt, could you rehash it one time?
What's my idea?
The Jey Uso Montreal screw job.
I think
no, I don't think Jay's screwing him. I think Sammy's going over.
Oh, that was yours. Nate?
I was hoping Sammy would go over in like to right the wrong of the screw job since it's in Montreal.
Oh, okay.
Since Sammy's like a hometown boy. I mean Canadian anyway. But I'm assuming Jay's going to be there on Friday. Because if Jay's not there, that means they're just going to forfeit the belts. Like either that, I feel like if anything,
Solo.
I feel like I don't know if they'll let him. Like they might let him. They might let him New Day it and let Solo fill in. But I feel like Jay will be there. It will lead to either Jay walking out on Jimmy or Jimmy walking out on Jay.
Jimmy walking out on Jay.
Yeah, or 100%. Something, and them having to either defend by themselves and win, or defend by themselves and lose. And if they defend by themselves and lose, they can get it back, or that'll just lead to Brown Snowman and Ricochet facing Imperium or somebody else at Mania. Which
I like Nate's idea better. I like Nate's idea better. Come on, Nate, with it one more time.
Yeah, I was just saying, like I think Jay's gonna stay away until Elimination Chamber, and it's gonna come down to Sammy looking like he's got the win, maybe going for a spear again or something like that, and then Jay comes out of nowhere, super kicks him, costs him the match, and then you get the whole bloodline stomping him down like they did at Rumble, and then KO comes back, whoops his ass like he kind of was there for a couple weeks, or whoops the bloodline's ass, gets them all in the ring, and then you get Sammy and KO versus Jimmy and Jay at Mania for the titles. The tag titles.
But in order for that to happen, that means that Jay needs to be there on Friday for this match, unless they're going to let Solo step in and defend the title with him, which they kind of let Sammy defend the title the other day.
Yeah.
So
with Judgment Day, so they'll probably do the same thing here.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I don't know how I feel about that swapping in teammates and stuff. Cause it's like, why couldn't somebody just be like, oh, well, yeah, Brock Lesnar is like, like blood to me, so let him stand in place of my teammate. Well, I know, but it's like, if you could pick whoever, it'd be like, let them fight with me. It's like, why not pick somebody like Bork Laser?
Well, let's wind it down. Last two things. Because with my schedule and things that's happening with me, guys, we all know what it is. So people, if you don't know, we may or may not be recording in the near future before WrestleMania. I just don't know quite yet, but just give us your Mania predictions so we have them.
Where do we go? I mean,
okay, so let's go. Who's gonna walk out with the women's Raw Championship?
Well, we don't know who Bianca's facing yet because it's Elimination Chamber. It's Elimination Chamber, but who's in it? It was the final four from the Women's Rumble, which was Dark Asuka, Nikki, Liv. No, it wasn't Bailey.
Oh, was it Bailey?
It was. I think it was either Raquel Gonzalez or the NXT Women's Champion.
Oh yeah.
And then somebody won a spot the other night.
It was Natalya.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not going to be Natty. I could see either Raquel Gonzalez against Bianca or Dark Asuka. I feel like they would want to put a heel against Bianca, but like none of the heels in that match are very credible. I would like to see Bianca and Dark Asuka with Dark Asuka going over.
Yeah.
I like Asuka, period.
Yeah.
Unless Shayna Baszler's in it, which I think she was in that women's gauntlet match or whatever last night and lost. But like,
yeah, she lost.
Yeah.
There's talks where it's going to be Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey going up against Dakota Sky. And,
No.
yes.
I don't want it.
Right now.
It's been put down by Dave Meltzer as a thing that's
Okay,
probably
great.
going to happen for Mania. So
Dave, stop it.
Yeah.
I know.
So,
Personally, I think it'll either be Dark Asuka or Liv.
okay, let's just cut to the chase. Is this the one? This is the one I think everybody wants to know.
Yes.
Is Cody going to win? Yeah. Whether it's against Sammy or Roman, Cody's going over.
I don't want it.
It's like
Dude.
the whole thing is like him achieving his father's dream and him winning the title that has eluded his family for decades. Like, they're not going to do it at SummerSlam. They're going to do it at Mania, and they're going to call it the feel-good moment of the year, and it's going to be manufactured. It's not going to be natural like Kofi. It's not going to be natural like Daniel Bryan. It's not going to be natural like Sammy Wood. It's going to be Roman 15 all over again.
Dude, that's exactly. I was getting like PTSD with that fucking promo he was cutting Monday. It's like, dude, this is just like, one, it sounded like he was sucking himself off, like just everything
he
was
does.
saying. And it's like, this is why fucking the AEW fans like turn on you, because you're a chode, bro, and like, and
He's so far up his own ass.
yeah.
Mhm.
But I will say the one thing that's got me kind of liking Cody right now is, I don't know if you've seen, he was like on that show The Bump, and he's
I've
like
never
walking.
watched them.
I haven't either. I just seen like this clip, and he's like in the backstage talking with one of the interviewers, and he like sees a WrestleMania sign, and he just points to the WrestleMania sign and stands there for a minute. Or they're walking by a custodian's office, he just like points to the custodian sign. He said custodian office, and he just stands there like that. So if he does that, if he keeps that goofy shit up, I'll like him a little bit more. But yeah, like you said, this whole fucking thing just feels so manufactured, and like
I don't want it.
I don't want
either.
it. I'm already fucking bored of it. Like, I've
Yeah.
been bored of it.
I'm more
since-
excited about Logan Paul versus fucking Seth Rollins.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that spot. Holy shit, dude.
Oh yeah, that fucking
Yeah.
spot. Yeah, who
Dude.
saw that
Crazy
fucking
spot.
spot coming?
I was watching Botchamania, and they did like a mashup of that spot in The Simpsons where Rod and Todd Flanders are like, each leap brings us closer to God. Catch me, Lord, catch me. And then they smash into each other.
Yeah,
Dying.
that was a
Dying.
fucking spot though. Like,
Dude.
That was the spot. Kofi almost died.
yeah,
Kofi
Yeah, that
needs
was
to
crazy.
stop trying
Yes,
to
stop
do these
trying to
crazy
do these
eliminations.
crazy,
Yes.
But that Logan Paul Ricochet fucking smack was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But dude, that wasn't the first time it's ever happened. Kofi was actually one of the first people to do that exact same spot in an elimination. Yeah, I don't remember who it was. It was in an elimination chamber match.
Oh,
The angle just wasn't as cool because it was like from, the camera faces front, like the
hard
side of the
cam
ring.
side.
So it was, somebody's back towards hard cam and Kofi coming at the screen. But yeah, they did the same spot. This was back when I think Kofi
Oh,
was
I
still-
remember that. That was the tag team. I think that was the tag team elimination chamber match.
Was it? I thought
Or
it was-
it might have been the one with him and Daniel Bryan before Kofi Mania, but I
was saying,
remember that.
I don't know. Because I felt
I
like
feel like it was him and one of the Usos.
maybe. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was the tag team one.
all right. Well, I'm sorry guys, but I gotta run.
Can I go just
out of
real
here?
quick?
But this show was amazing. I appreciate you guys fucking coming in and dealing with my bullshit and putting up with me. And I love the fact that we get on here and we talk this shit. And I'm just like, damn, I forgot about something. So I'm like, oh
Aw.
shit. One
Yeah.
after-
His food's ready.
yeah, and so we're that too, because it hasn't come
Delivered.
down. But guys, I don't want Cody Rhodes as my WWE champion.
I don't
Same.
either.
No, sir.
Imagine the fucking promos that are gonna be cut when he's holding a belt. It's just gonna
Ugh.
be fucking.
I hope
Imagine
it
how
turns
little I
on him.
watched WWE at that point.
Yeah, imagine how little. Yeah, it's just gonna be just fuck. Because Roman's gonna go away for a while.
Yep.
Yeah.
He already
Um,
said he was.
oh my god.
And where does Roman go from there?
I mean, the only thing they can do to save this whole fucking thing, and this is just what I want to happen, is that as soon as he wins it, fucking Brian Breaker comes through the fucking thing and says, "Yeah, I'm here, bitch." And
Yeah,
that was
you want to talk about your dad's dream? Let's talk about my dad's dream.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now you're seeing where that's the
Now we're
Brian-
cooking with peanut oil.
yes, Braun Breaker coming out as soon as he fucking wins it at Mania.
And call him Braun Steiner already.
Thank
Fuck.
you. I'm fucking tired of this Braun Breaker shit.
They won't do that because they want Cody to have his feel-good moment. It'll be on Monday Night Raws when Braun Breaker or Braun
Will
Steiner,
come
whatever you
out.
want to call it, will come out and be like,
because he's
I'm
going
here.
he's
Yeah,
gonna
but you know what?
He's gonna drop the belt the night before during the NXT joint, right? Or the week before, right? When they do it, the night before or the week before. Because they do the NXT, they do the NXT pay-per-view.
They have one on Tuesday. I have tickets to the
Oh,
SmackDown.
so
I'm not going to SmackDown. I'm going to Ring of Honor, Super Card of Honor instead now. But
Don't blame
so
you.
it's Tuesday.
so we have-
Tuesday before Mania.
I think it's the Tuesday after. Which I don't know. It would make sense that it would be the Tuesday before because then you have the big
I always
surprises.
thought they did that because on Mania, like I think what you're describing is after SmackDown. Like the summer takeover joint is the week after, but I think the week before WrestleMania they do the NXT spots because that's usually when the guys that's moving up is going to come out that next week without their belts and all that.
Yeah, they used to do them on Saturday and then do the main event on Sunday. And now they do WrestleMania's 2 days, which we don't need. Not everybody needs a WrestleMania paycheck. Put the best of the best and just cut out all the filler. We don't need 2 days worth of it.
Yeah, last year fucking sucked the life out of me. But this has been another episode of Through the Barbershop Window. Matt, go ahead, please plug your show.
Yeah, check out my horror podcast, Who Goes There Podcast. You can find it on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you want. I also stream on Twitch at Matty Ding Dong. You can follow me on Instagram at Matty Ding Dong. I'll be posting a bunch of pictures from the wrestling shows in Japan. I leave in 3 days, and I'll be checking out New Japan Pro Wrestling's New Beginnings in Osaka. I'll be checking out a Stardom show and Freedoms, which is Jun Kasai's deathmatch federation. I'm very excited.
We are excited for you, man.
Nuts.
Yeah. Nate, you want to just get the people something and make sure y'all follow Nate's Instagram. He's out here putting out some fucking beautiful haircuts, and I'm such a proud teacher.
Thank you, brother.
Doing it.
Yeah, man. Just fuck it. I'll tag a couple things. Follow my barber page, just Barber Nate 48. Nice little rhyme to it. It's also my motorcycle. And follow my new band, Wrathhammer Metal, on Instagram. If you're a fan of ass beater metal that makes you want to fucking lift weights and then kick some dude's ass, that's where the band for you. So check us out.
Hell yeah! Like God's Hate.
Almost more like a heavier Slayer kind of.
Is that the band with Jon Snow?
Yes. Yep.
Dope.
Jon Snow's my drummer.
It's crazy.
Eddie.
If you wanted to see me rant about current wrestling's goings on during or after the day of, because sometimes I won't catch things the day of because of stuff I'm up to. Of course, you can find me at Eddie Phoenix, FENIX, right there on your little screen, right there. As always, I will say, of course, love you, Mom, and fellas, 32 years around the sun. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's today.
Oh,
today's your birthday?
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, happy birthday.
Bro, why are you not wearing a fucking birthday hat, brother?
Also, how are you only 32?
Also, I was just finding out.
Life has been rough to you, Eddie.
Yeah.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, Eddie's had a rough
With the hat on.
And he has cats, so a lot of that comes from them just going to town on the top of his head.
Nah, that's my mom said, not mine.
Try being married, you'll lose the rest of that hair.
Yeah, but man, happy birthday, Eddie.
Happy B-Day, my bro, my dog.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Once again, this is Through the Barbershop Window, and we out.